So last class we were
No,
discussing.
sir.
Okay, it's audible. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So last class we were discussing about stones, right? We have completed brick and we have started the new construction materials,
Yes, sir.
stones. And you had a work. I had asked you to complete that English bond and Flemish bond drawings. Only 7 or 8 people have submitted it. Already it is late. I told you that it is only one day time. I had given you time till 4 o'clock in the evening. Even though I have given enough time, only 7 or 8 people have submitted it. I was checking it. So others will be losing marks. Okay. It was a very simple work. I don't know why you are not doing it. It's up to you. If you are not doing it, you won't be having that marks. If you are not doing it at the proper time. And there is one more assignment posted in Google Classroom that you have to submit on time. Time is given there. Deadline and other things are given there. Okay. So we were discussing about stones. I was telling you what are the classification of stones. Okay, I was telling you what is the classification of stones. So stones can be classified based on several categories. Okay, stones can be classified based on several characteristics. One classification of
of the
stones.
earth. So, magma is also called molten rock, and it is found in the mantle of the earth.
So one type of classification is based on the formation of the rock. So how rocks are classified based on its formation? Based on the formation, I have already told you that rocks can be classified into three. What were the three classification of rocks based on its formation? Can anyone tell? I'll ask. Saurav Bharati. Is Saurav Bharati available online? Hello? Hello? Is Saurav available? I think we have lost Saurav. No problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Saurav, what is the three classification of rock,
Yes.
three classification of stones based on its formation? How you are classifying based on formation? Can you tell?
Sir, first is igneous rock.
Igneous rock?
Igneous
Yes, igneous. I can hear you. Continue.
metamorphic.
Metamorphic?
Or sedimentary.
Yes, exactly. Igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary rock. These are the three classification of rocks based on its formation or based on the geological characteristics. You are classifying the rocks as igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks. I had already told you about these things. Today we'll be seeing it in detail, and today we'll also see the other classification, how rocks are classified into different classes on several criteria other than the geological formation criteria. So there are three kinds of rocks, as you know: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rock. What is an igneous rock? Igneous rocks are those rocks, listen carefully, igneous rocks are those rocks which are formed as a result of solidification of molten magma. Magma will be occurring at the interior of the earth, and once molten magma is getting solidified and resulting in the formation of a rock, such a type of rock is known as a igneous rock. Second type of rock is known as the sedimentary rock. A rock, igneous rock formed at one place, will be subjected to sedimentary action. It will be getting eroded. What do you mean by erosion? The particles of the rock will be lost or removed from the parent rock, and that such eroded fragment particles will be carried to different places by different agents like wind, water, etc. These agents are known as agents of transportation. After transportation, these rock fragments, okay, after transportation, these rock fragments will be getting deposited at different places. Once the rock fragment is getting deposited, in due course of time, the fragmented rocks will be getting consolidated and solidified. It will be getting consolidated and solidified, leading to the formation of sedimentary rock. That is the second classification, known as the sedimentary rock. And the third classification is known as the metamorphic rocks. What is happening with a metamorphic rock? The sedimentary rock, okay, will be subjected to extreme conditions of heat and temperature. Extreme conditions of temperature and pressure, so that its composition is getting changed. And such a rock, we call it as the metamorphic rock. So this is how rocks are classified into three based on the geological characteristics, or based on the formation characteristics. Rocks are classified into three. The three classifications being igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock. Now I am presenting. Is it audible? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now please listen. Okay. So the three classification, as I have told you, igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rock. So igneous rock. How igneous rock is formed? Igneous rock formed out of magma and lava from the interior of the earth. They are known as primary rocks. So you may be getting questions. What is meant by a primary rock? Igneous rock is known as igneous rock is also called as a primary rock. Why an igneous rock is called as a primary rock? Because it is formed directly from the molten magma coming out of the interior of the earth. Hence, igneous rock can also be called as a primary rock. Now, the igneous rocks are formed when magma cools and solidifies. The process of cooling and solidification can happen in the earth's crust or on the surface of the earth. So, igneous rock, also known as primary rock. Why it is called as primary rock? Because it is formed directly. Igneous rock is formed directly by cooling or solidification of magma. Now, the question is where this thing will be happening. Where this thing will be happening. What is this thing? Where this solidification of magma will be happening. The solidification of magma may happen at any point. In some cases, magma will be getting solidified at the interior of the earth. In some cases, the solidification of magma will be happening at the surface of the earth. So depending on whether the magma is getting solidified at the interior or the surface, depending on whether the magma will be getting solidified on the surface or interior, both can be called as a igneous rock. So igneous rock need not be always due to formation at the interior or at the surface. Okay, even if it is formed at the interior, दोनों सही है. अगर इंटीरियर में फॉर्मेशन हो गया उसको भी हम igneous rocks बुलाते हैं, और अगर अर्थ का सरफेस पे ये फॉर्मेशन होता है उसको भी हम igneous rocks बुलाते हैं. ठीक है, igneous rock दोनों तरफ के हो सकते हैं. ओके, now listen. The process of cooling and solidification can happen in the earth's crust or on the surface. Igneous rocks are classified based on texture. How texture is formed, how the grains are arranged, and what is the size of grain. Depending on how the grains are arranged in a rock and how the texture of the grains are present, igneous rocks can be classified. If the molten material is cooled slowly at a very large depth, then the grains will be very large in size. In other case, if the cooling of molten magma is happening at the surface, it will be resulting in very small and smooth grains. So igneous rock can be classified based on their texture also. How the texture is determined? The texture is determined based on the what is the size of grains in the rock and what is the arrangement of grain. Next, if the molten material is cooled slowly at greater length, if the cooling of molten material is happening at greater depth. It will be resulting in very large grain size. Whereas cooling at the surface will result in small grains. Then,
Sir,
yes,
which one is more suitable? So which one is more suitable? Fast cooling or slow cooling?
I'm coming to that. Okay, don't worry. I'll be explaining. Fine. It is not like you cannot tell that which one is more suitable. It depends on condition. After discussing the after discussing the classification of rocks, I'll be coming into the selection of stones for different purposes. So in that case, you will understand which one is suitable for which kind of construction. We cannot generalize that this kind of rock is always suitable or this kind of rock is always superior. It depends on your situation in which you are using the rock. So that will be the next thing which we will be going to discuss. Immediately after completing this chapter of classification of rocks, we will be moving on to the next section, that is selection of stones for different construction activities. So don't worry. Okay. Now that is about the igneous rocks. Now coming to the, so this is how igneous rocks will be formed. In some cases, magma will be coming out and within the interior. Some cases, magma will be coming through the volcanoes and the rock formation will be happening outside. So in any way, rock formation can be happening. Now coming to the next thing. So these are different examples of igneous rocks. You can note down these examples: basalt, granite, gabbro. At least two examples you study: granite and basalt. These are two examples of igneous rocks. Now coming to the next category, that is the sedimentary rock. The word sedimentary is derived from the Latin word sedimentum, which means settling. The rocks of the earth's surface are exposed to denudation agents and are broken up into various sizes of fragments. Such fragments are transported by different exogenous agencies and deposited. These deposits through compaction turn into rocks. This process is known as lithification. I'll explain. Okay. So I think now you are clear about the igneous rocks. Once igneous rocks is formed, the igneous rocks will be subjected to different weathering action. What do you mean by weathering? What do you mean by weathering? Birendra Singh, what is weathering? Is Birendra Singh available? Hello? Are you able to hear me? Okay, so connection is not lost. I think he is not available there. No problem, I'll continue. So after the igneous rock is formed, the igneous rocks will be subjected to different agents of weathering, and as a result, the fragments of igneous rocks will be getting separated. Once the fragments of igneous rock is getting separated, there will be several agents. There will be several agents of transportation like wind, flowing water. These agents will be transporting the rock formed at one place. Rock fragments formed at one place will be transported to another place by these different agents of transportation. And after transportation, these fragments will be getting deposited at certain other location. And in the new location, they will be getting consolidated. They will be getting solidified. And this process is known as lithification. You call this process as lithification. So what is lithification? The fragments are transported by different agencies and are deposited. These deposits through compaction turn into rocks. This process is known as lithification. So in many sedimentary rock, the layers of deposits retain their characteristics even after lithification. So this lithification process will be happening in course of time. There will be one layer of deposit. There will be one layer of sediment deposit. After many years, after large number of years, again one more layer will be getting deposited over the already deposited layer. Again, in course of time, newer layers will be formed, and newer layers will be getting deposited over the existing layers. So in course of time, this lithification will be completed. So what will happen is you will be seeing the rock in layers. There will be one layer over which there will be another layer, and the oldest deposit being the lowermost layer. Okay, the deposition will be happening in layers. Hence we see a number of layers of varying thickness in sedimentary rocks like sandstone, shale, etc. So these are several examples of sedimentary rock: sandstone, shale, etc. Depending upon the mode of formation, the sedimentary rocks are classified into three major groups: mechanically formed, organically formed. Such things are not needed. You just need to study what is the basic thing and what are the examples. Now coming to the third form of rock. Third form of rock is known as the metamorphic rock. Igneous rock is clear, sedimentary rock is clear. Third rock form is known as the metamorphic rock. So what is metamorphic rock? Once a rock is formed, it will be continuously subjected to various forces. There will be rise or fall in temperature. There will be high or low pressure. There will be alternate seasons of rain and drying, so that rocks may be getting wetted in certain season, and after that season, in the next season, the rocks may be getting dried up. So based on the alternating seasons, based on temperature, based on pressure, new characteristics or certain changes will be occurring to these rocks. These changes you call as metamorphism. What is meant by metamorphism or metamorphosis? Have you seen butterfly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this beautiful creature called butterfly, it will not be in that form itself from its when the life begins. It will not be in that form. It will be having several stages. From these stages, it will be in a pupal stage first. Then it will be getting converted into a larva. Then only it will be getting converted into a butterfly. So this thing you call as the metamorphosis or metamorphism in a butterfly. Okay. Similar to that. So I was telling about this butterfly's life stages to explain you what is meant by metamorphosis. Okay. Several changes will be happening. So in metamorphic rocks also, for example, if you don't understand, if you don't remember what is meant by metamorphic rock, at least you will be able to remember this example. That's why I was explaining about this butterfly example. Okay. Several changes will be brought about in its form, and it will be getting converted into something new. नया रूप का पत्थर होता है. ओके. जो ऑलरेडी एक्सिस्टिंग है उसमें काफी चेंजेस आते हैं, और ये काफी चेंजेस के बाद ये एक नया फॉर्म में आते हैं. ऐसा एक नया रॉक बनाते हैं. नया रॉक नॉट बनाते हैं, एक नया रॉक मिलते हैं. दैट इज नोन एज अ मेटामॉर्फिक रॉक. प्लीज लिसन. Fine. So metamorphic rock, the word metamorphic means change of form. These rocks form under the action of pressure, volume and temperature changes. So the rock, here you can see, this is the rock. The rock is getting subjected to rain and wind. After continuous exposure to rain, the rocks will start to develop cracks. and the rock will be, the crack will be, see the first image, there is no crack. In the second stage, you can see certain depth of crack. In the third stage, the depth of crack is increased, and in the fourth figure, it is getting split into two halves. And after splitting, the particles are loosened. The soil debris is loosened. Now, so due to this change to already existing rock, you will be getting metamorphic rocks. The word metamorphic means change of form. These rocks form under the action of pressure, volume and temperature changes. Metamorphism occurs when rocks are forced down to lower levels by tectonic processes, or when molten magma rising through the crust comes in contact with the crustal rocks, or the underlying rocks are subjected to great amount of pressure by overlying rocks. Metamorphism is a process by which already consolidated rock undergo recrystallization and reorganization of material within original rock. I'll explain once more. Metamorphic rocks means already one rock layer will be formed. Already one rock layer will be formed, and that rock layer will be subjected to forces of heat or pressure, due to which its form will be getting changed and it will be forming into a new characteristic rock. You call it as a metamorphic rock. Now, so this is the general things about the classification of rock. Okay. Now, some more points regarding metamorphic rock. The mechanical disruption and reorganization of original minerals within rocks due to breaking and crushing without any appreciable chemical changes is called dynamic metamorphism. That means there is no chemical change happening into the rock, but mechanically there is certain disruption occurring. Due to mechanical forces, there is certain changes, or the crystals of the rock is reorganized without any chemical changes. You call it as a dynamic metamorphism. In some cases, the materials of the rock will be altered chemically, and recrystallization will be happening due to thermal changes. You call it as a thermal metamorphism. This is the two types of metamorphism: dynamic metamorphism and thermal metamorphism.
So far, we know that rocks make it to the interior of the earth due
just
to tectonic.
understand how the classification is done based on how the classification is happening based on geologic characteristics. Based on formation, the rocks can be classified as igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks. Okay. Now we will move on to the next classification. Let us see what is the next classification. After the geological classification of rocks, we have another classification of rock that is known as the physical classification. So physical classification, based on physical classification, rocks are classified into two groups, namely stratified and unstratified. Okay, after geological classification of rock, the second classification of rocks which we have to study, is known as the physical classification of rocks. Based on physical classification, rocks are classified into two groups, and the two groups are stratified rocks and unstratified rocks. Stratified rocks or stratified stones mean they are derived from sedimentary rocks. They are found in layers. Stratified means that having strata. What do you mean by strata? Layer by layer. So when you are observing a rock, the physical appearance of the rock is showing several layers. The rock is occurring in a layered manner. We call such a rock as a stratified rock. Another classification is known as the unstratified rock. There is no layering. Example of stratified rock is limestone and sandstone. An example of unstratified rock you can note down as granite, trap, marble, etc. These are unstratified rock. So whenever you are speaking about stratified rock and unstratified rock, it can include any kind of rock. Okay, it is entirely different from igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. If one rock is igneous, it can be either stratified or unstratified. Any sedimentary rocks can be stratified or unstratified. Don't confuse that. When I am telling an example, don't think that this example is coming under igneous rock. So how will it come under stratified? This is entirely different classification. Is it clear? So,
Yes, sir.
so when the rocks are not showing, when the stones are not showing any type of layers, you call it as unstratified. So that is another classification. Geological classification we have already seen: igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Now, depending on the chemical classification, depending on the chemical composition. So I have given you two classifications depending on the geological characteristics. Depending on the geological characteristics, you can classify the rock as igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Depending on the physical characteristic, you can classify the rock as stratified and unstratified. And the next classification of rock is based on the chemical composition of rock. So based on the chemical composition of rock, you will be classifying the stones into different classes. The criteria of classification being chemical composition. First classification is known as a siliceous rock. Siliceous rock means, if the word siliceous is given, you have to understand that silica is the main constituent of such rock. If silica is the major constituent of such rocks, you call the rock as a siliceous rock. Another classification being, so silica as the principal constituent, these rocks are hardly affected by weathering action. They are very hard and durable. Example is granite, sandstone, gneiss, basalt, trap, etc. These are several examples of siliceous rocks. Another classification of rocks based on chemical characteristics is argillaceous rocks. What do you mean by argillaceous? When clay is the chief constituent of rock, you call that rock as argillaceous rock. Another important example of argillaceous rocks are slate and laterite. Another important classification of rock based on chemical characteristics is the calcareous rocks. Calcareous rocks. Calcareous rocks means it will be having lime, carbonate of lime, carbonate of calcium as the chief constituent. Limestone, marble, etc. are different examples of calcareous rocks. So these are the main classification. There is one more general classification given, that is not important.
For heavy engineering work,
Going on into that, understand these three classifications based on geological characteristics or based on formation. What is the mode of formation of rock? Based on that, rock can be classified into igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Examples are given. Based on physical characteristics, rocks can be classified into stratified rocks and unstratified rocks. Examples are given. Based on chemical composition, rocks will be classified into three classes, that is siliceous rock, argillaceous rock and calcareous rock. Siliceous rock being, what is siliceous rock? Siliceous rocks means, what is siliceous rock?
Having silica content.
Yes, silica content is present. Okay, silica is the main constituent in siliceous rock. Argillaceous rock means clay is the major constituent in argillaceous rock. And calcareous rock mean lime is the major constituent. Okay, so this is about the different classification, geological, physical and chemical classification of rock. That is very important. Next thing we have to study is the test on stones. What are the different tests to be conducted on stone, and what is the different characteristics for selection of stones? Selection of stones for suitable building work. This is the next part. So are you able to follow what I am teaching? We have completed 4 or 5 classes. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Can everyone please
Yes,
switch on
sir.
the camera? Please switch on the camera.
Yes, sir.